I think we often find ourselves in predicaments that we can avoid if we just had a little bit of help. And today I'm here to help you. My name is Elle Kreamer, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping in. I post videos every single week. I post episodes every single Friday of my podcast, and I'm starting to try to post twice a week, but this week that is just not happening. That is not in the cards for us. That is not rational. We're going to graduate. We're going to focus on that. But I knew I needed to come on here and post a podcast for you guys because we stick to the plan. We deliver. So the first thing I need you to know in your 20s is that whenever you fail, don't look at it as a punishment, as a loss, as something that was taken away from you. No, a failure is a win, okay? Even if you fail your way to the top, that is sometimes even better because you're getting all of this knowledge, getting all of this experience that you couldn't have got if you would have just kept thinking about doing this, but you couldn't execute the plan because you had analysis paralysis and you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't do this. There's too much information. I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this. I'm going to talk myself out of it. But if you simply just stop thinking that fear is something or failure is actually something to be feared and not just start failing, because the sooner you fail, the more quicker you will learn what actually is right for you and what's meant for you. And if you don't start failing, then it will take you a lot longer to learn what's really meant for you in this life, if that makes sense. And there's a lot of things that are meant for you, but we can't find those things that are meant for us if we are stuck on things that aren't fitting us anymore. You know, like it's like trying on those old pair of jeans that you just can't let go of, that have literally been sitting in your closet for like decades, but for some reason we just have that attachment issue to things because we think that we can maybe squeeze into it one day. Well, you can possibly if you lost all of that weight, but is that weight that we want to lose? Is that bad weight? Is that good weight? That's something for you to figure out. Like if you're hoarding these pants thinking that you'll go from a size, like you're a size 8 now and those were your pants from high school, like whenever you were a size 2 prepubescent years, babe, throw them away. It doesn't have to fit you. Like if it doesn't fit you, if it isn't fitting you anymore, it's okay to let it go and let somebody else use it. And that is kind of what I'm trying to get at. Just because it's not meant for you anymore doesn't mean it was a waste of time, doesn't mean you didn't learn anything. Just because it was a bad experience just because a relationship was bad doesn't mean that, no. Just because you weren't happy in a relationship doesn't mean the relationship was bad, because you still learned something. You are applying knowledge to be able to know what to do in the future, and it's all about how you use that knowledge. So if you're using that knowledge to the best of your ability and helping others by applying it within your own life, then that's awesome. And failure is actually your friend, okay? Failure is not something to run away from. It is something to confront and just try as many things as you can, because the more you try, the more you know about yourself, the more you learn what you don't like, and the quicker you can get to what you do like and find the things that are actually meant for you. Because another thing that we tell ourselves in our 20s is that we aren't supposed to have good lives. We can't do it ourselves because we let our imposter syndrome get the best of us. I have had imposter syndrome what feels like forever. I was like, once I'm this weight, then I'll start posting videos of me working out, because then people will think I look good enough and blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z. But no, I started posting videos because I started posting videos once I got access to a camera that I could use to record in the gym. Okay, that was whenever I started posting like gym videos, because I always wanted to record myself in the gym, but I was too scared because I was holding myself back from the fear of failing. Take yourself out of that box. You don't have to place yourself in one category. And that's something else I also wish I learned in my 20s. Like, just piggybacking right on to the next thing, you don't have to place yourself in a singular category. You don't have to be a singular niche, because like as a content creator, they're like, find your niche, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that really stuck with me, because I was like, I don't even know what my niche is. Like, there's so many different things that I like. There's so many different avenues of life that I walk and people that I've met. And it's just, how do I bring all of that together? Sometimes it's going to take a lot for you to figure out what your overall niche is. But that doesn't mean you can't have overarching other things that you like to do. Like, I love to go to the gym. I love photography. I love podcasting. I love thrifting. I love shopping. I love painting, arts, and like I love fashion. I love nature. I love the gym so much. Like I love animals so much. I love my friends. I love being girly, dainty. Like there's so many. I love being a tomboy. I like dressing homeless. Like I just love being everything. Like there's so many different avenues, areas that I can go to. Like I love EDM festivals. I love this. I love that. But that doesn't mean that you just have to define yourself to one of those. If you place yourself in that box, then you're just saying, okay, well, this is the only category I belong to, and this is all that I identify with. And another thing is, you are not your accolades. If all of these things were taken away from you tomorrow, you would still be the person you are today. And that was something that I figured out before I was 20. I figured that out whenever I was 18 in high school, and March 13th hit, and they said, you can't go to school anymore. You're cut off. You're done. So whenever I realized that, I was like, wait, who the hell am I? Because I just got my retreat like thing taken away from me. I was a member of a retreat team, and we would put on 4 retreats a year for like the juniors and seniors, and I was looking forward to those because we had 2 left. The first 2 were amazing, and I felt God so much, and I was like devastated. I was like, God, there's no way that you're going to take away this right now. There's no way. And then after that, they were like, okay, well, now y'all can't run cross country. Y'all can't do track because COVID. It's like, it's a problem. We have to wear masks. We can't go to school. School shut down for 2 weeks. And then I was like, so what? We don't get to finish senior year now? Like, I don't get to finish out all the things that I have been trying to finish? Like, are you for real? And at that moment, I went into a panic. I thought, I was like, there's who am I was literally like, who is Elle? Who is Elle? Because all of the things that I identified, associated my worth with, were literally automatically taken away like that. And I think that was God just, I think he needed everyone to stop for a second. I don't understand the reason that COVID happened, but it happened. And there was the weirdest and best and worst time of my life all simultaneously in one. But I learned a lot from it, and I learned that all of those things are not what makes me me, and I can't associate those things with me, because that is not what makes me me. Like, that is not what makes you you. Your accolades, your accomplishments, your awards, your achievements, your friends, all of this, you don't get to leave them. You have to leave those here. Whenever you die, you don't get to take those things with you. The only thing that you're taking is your spirit. Your body's not even going with you. So like, stop caring what you literally stop freaking being so hard on yourself all the time, because that's another thing I learned, like, especially as a woman, you get one body, treat it well, treat it nicely, and do things that are good for it. Don't put your body through absolute shambles. If you go on drinking benders like all the time, I've probably been on like 1 or 2 in college, like intense ones, like 3 to 5 day ones, because I don't know, like freshman year I was in a sorority, and sophomore year I was in a sorority too, and we would have events and stuff, whatever, and just like, it was just, that was like the time, I guess. And I guess everyone was kind of just going crazy, like balls to the wall, because we were all freaking locked up during COVID, and we were like ready just to see everyone again. And it was kind of overstimulation, like it all happened at once. It all happened so fast, and I think I got so swept up in that, and like I was treating my body so poorly, and like drinking all the time, and that drinking has never been my thing, because I feel it. I feel it the next day. I feel awful. I feel anxious. I feel depressed. I feel like, I just feel all of these different emotions, but only whenever like I have a lot at once. Like if I have one drink at a dinner with my family, so be it. If I have 2 drinks at dinner with my family, so be it. Like, just, you have to know your limits. And that also is another thing. Like, you just need to know where to stop and what is a good stopping point for you. Because if you reach that stopping point and you keep going past further down that line, it's not only going to harm you, it's going to harm the people around you. And that is not cool. So don't drink and drive. Don't do any of that. Be smart about what you're doing, because you get one life, you get one body, so use it like wisely. Like, don't get on the road drinking and driving. That's just stupid, and you're gonna literally, we just don't do that. Okay, we don't do that. Okay, this one I actually learned this month, and it has been literally, I think my frontal lobe is just like, she's working herself. She's present. My frontal lobe has entered the villa. Okay, you guys. Self-awareness. is not the same as self-criticism. That was actually the craziest moment for me whenever I realized that, because I was like, I'm so self-aware. I am so blah blah. I need to stop doing this blah blah. But then I'm like, wait, because I was literally having a conversation with my mom in the car, and I was telling her, I just feel like I'm so self-aware of all of my problems, but I can't fix them, and I don't know why I can't fix them, and etc. etc. I don't know what's wrong with me, blah blah. Get off your high horse, whatever. Being self-aware of the situation that you're in, for starters, like your environment, what does life look like for a regular day-to-day for you? And if you want that to be changed, you have to be the one to change it for yourself. Nobody's going to come fix your life for you, and we have to be holding ourselves accountable for the things that we are saying, the things that we are doing, because if we don't, people are not going to take you seriously. You are going to lose your credibility, you're going to lose your respect, and keeping all of that intact is essential for the rest of your life, to be honest, unless you just like move to Canada, become a fisherman, change your name to like freaking Ronald and just start over, then maybe do that. But I mean, that's a lot. So self-criticism is not the same as self-awareness. Self-criticism is depleting. And I made an episode about how doing nothing is literally changing. Wait, what did I say? It was called Thinking Does Nothing. It was something like that. Thinking Does Nothing. But basically, it was talking about how if we spend all this time doing the research, looking into all of these things that we want to do, and we think we're itching that scratch of like success and going for our goals, but in reality, we're just we're doing the work and researching. But like, if you research how to open a business but you don't open the business, you never open the business, and you're not going to get to see the flourishment, the amazing results of what your business can do for you if you are just sitting there thinking that it's going to happen for itself, like it's just going to magically appear in your lap, because that's not how it works. And I think that I'm my biggest critic, and I know that is for a lot of people. And I have really worked hard to retrain my brain and like talk to myself a lot nicer. If I talk to myself in a self-critiquing manner, I will immediately correct myself. Like if I say something that's rude to myself in front of my friends, I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Like, I didn't mean it like that. We're just whatever you have to say to retract that statement, because your brain is literally like subconsciously taking whatever you say and running with that. Another really vital thing for your 20s is reward yourself today by doing something good for reward do something for you today that will reward yourself for tomorrow. And basically, what can you do today to set yourself up for success for tomorrow? So, like, if you have a side hustle that you love, spend 30 minutes a day working on that side hustle. Set aside that time to invest in that, whether that's creatively, intellectually, physically, spiritually, whatever it is, financially. I don't know. Your side hustle is your side hustle. For me, that's me spending the time on social media, posting at the regular times that I post at, because that's like what your algorithm wants for you. Like, I've done the research. I researched that the time, like what times work best for my social media handles. Well, usually that's for me like 12 o'clock. And so I will spend 30 minutes a day on the Stairmaster or so around 12:30, and I will post my stuff on all my socials and just like post it to YouTube, post it to Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of the platforms. And that is me putting an investment into something that is going to reward tomorrow, because it only takes one video for your life to change. And I'm not only doing it for that, I'm doing it because I already know that what I'm saying, what I'm doing with this podcast has helped not only one person, but multiple people, numerous people. I've had DMs, I've had in-person conversations, all types of things, text messages, like just all kinds of things that have seen the fruit of what I'm doing. And so I know that this is bigger than me. So that's why I continue to do this, because I know it is bigger than myself. And I know that what I say is just things that I've learned, and I just want other people to know that. Like, I want people to know that if they can know that before I learned it. Here's a big one. Stop uprooting your seeds that you have planted in your life if you haven't given them time to blossom, time to grow. So by this, I mean think of it literally as a plant, okay? You put these seeds in the ground, you plant these seeds in your head to do the things, but you aren't giving it time to blossom into something beautiful, something bigger than you, because you're just digging it out of the ground and like holding it so tight because you want to control the situation. But the situation needs sunlight, the situation needs water and hydration, nutrients. Like the situation needs nourishment. But if you aren't nourishing the situation by nourishing yourself and allowing things to come into your life the way that they are going to come, if they're going to gravitate towards you, then it's going to be in your life. But if you are holding so hard on to things, I'm going back to what I said in the beginning because it's just all coming back. Holding on to things so hard aren't allowing yourself, you aren't making room for the goodness to come into your life. And that is something that time and time again I learn. If I'm holding on to the garbage that I should have like literally put at the curb on the side of the road, it's gonna start smelling bad. You're gonna start seeing it. The effects of what you're doing is gonna show, and it's going to it's gonna slow you down ultimately. And if we just continue to uproot our seeds whenever we had just planted them and they're just finally starting to develop, then why can't we just be patient? And that's something for me that I really struggle with, like trying to I invest into something and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it now. Why isn't it happening now? But not everything that you do is going to be an overnight process. Most of the things, majority of the things in your life that are worth it, that are worth your time, take longer to develop. And if you think your future husband he's gonna appear overnight, no, he's not gonna appear overnight, because you have to put in the time, effort to nourish your own seeds for him to come find you. Like, no, he can't come find you if you aren't trying to blossom yourself, because right now you're just a seed, but you can't grow because you are uprooting yourself every single time. You aren't growing where you're planted. And that's a huge thing. I also said, I made an episode about that in 2023 about growing where you're planted. This was something that I struggled with a lot. I hated Louisiana. I still don't necessarily, I'm not in love with it, but I know that this is the situation that I'm in, and I knew that I could either accept it for what it was and make the best of it, or I could be a victim and hate my time here and regret it later because I was just so ready to get out of the situation because I just wanted to get to the next thing. Because I'm like, okay, once I get to the next thing, I'll become the version of myself that I want to be. But no, why can't you just become that version now? Why are you holding on to all of these things? Like, I didn't want to go. So, okay, here's what happened. Here's a little fun, like, flash forward, little quick story time. I went to a college in my hometown for a year, hated it. So then I went to the college like an hour away from me, which was LSU, Louisiana State University. Okay, whatever. It was a party school. I partied, whatever. Okay, yeah, I was in a sorority. I did the whole thing. I lived with my best friend. It was just too much for me. It was too much for me. And I had to be honest with myself. And I was like, I think I bit off more than I can chew right now. I don't think that this is where I'm meant to be. And so I went back. I went back to where I was. And when I came back, I was experiencing a lot of discomfort because I couldn't allow myself to grow where I was planted. I left UL in the first place because I didn't feel like I could, like, I felt stagnant, and I was like, there's nothing here for me. But obviously there's a reason that I came back. There's something that gravitated me towards this place, and I'm here, and I made the most of it, and I'm still making the most of it every single day. Because if you think that you're just stuck in this mindset, in this situation, then yeah, you're stuck in it, but you aren't allowing yourself to get out of it, make it better. If you're just sitting in that like mindset, you can literally like flip a switch. You can flip a switch and just be thankful for the situation that you're in, and find the good in it. And if you are only looking at the situation for a bleak, half cup, half full situation, then yeah, it might suck. But if you are thinking, okay, I'm going to get out of this. This isn't forever. What am I learning right now? What am I getting from this? And then it's going to just increase the quality of your life. And invest money into something that you love, then it's probably always going to come back in tenfold and reward you some way. So for me, whenever I bought this camera, the one that you're watching on right now, I'm literally recording with this camera. I've used this camera for so many things, and I use it for my podcast. I use it for my gym videos. Like, I use it for vlogs, random things. I sometimes take pictures on it, whatever. This camera has given me so much value for what I even bought it for. Like, I bought this camera a year ago, and the money that I've made back with this camera, the money that has come back from using this camera, the experiences, the knowledge, the resources, like everything this has helped me grow my social media following, my platform, my engagement tremendously because I have a nice camera, and it helped my podcast grow. I don't know if I would have videoed my podcast. I probably wouldn't even gotten this camera if my friend who I was filming with one day was like, you have to start recording your podcast, because I was against that. I was like, I don't want to record myself on the internet. I don't want people to see me. They're going to judge me. They're going to say I'm ugly. There's always going to be a naysayer. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I was like actually shunned away and disgusted and appalled at that. And I had to really take a step back and say, what is the problem? Why can't I record myself? Why am I not comfortable in front of a camera? Because that has never been an issue before. But the issue was I just didn't want people to judge me. I was scared of failing, but I thought if people just heard my voice, maybe it'll just be a voice. Maybe they won't attach it to a face, and maybe I can just be somebody, nobody, just a voice, just an anonymous person to help you out. But whenever they said, no, put your face in there, I said, so I really have to live to what I say. I have to not only walk the walk, but I have to not only talk the talk, I have to walk the walk. So basically, what he was saying was, you have to start recording yourself because you are going to get way more exposure. You're going to get 10,000 times more of a following, and people are going to know your face, and they're going to see your face, and they're going to say, I recognize that What the Elle girl. That's What the Elle. That's that girl with the podcast. And sure enough, it did. And people know me. I'm a little local celebrity around my town. I'm a small little local micro celebrity in my town. People will come up to me and they're like, "You're that girl who has a podcast." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And we have a conversation, and they're usually end up following me, and we end up talking and whatever. I made a new friend. Cool networking. Now we have a new friend. Now we have somebody who is probably also around the same age as me, because most of the people who listen to my podcast, actually not all people, but my target audience, according to Spotify Wrapped this year, is 18 to 24-year-olds. And I also did have a percentage 11 increase in percent of 40 to 70-year-olds, which I was like, okay, cool. So I guess that means I'm wise. I don't know. But basically, if you keep taking yourself out of the right situation for yourself, it's just going to take you longer to get where you want to go. And I think ultimately that is what I want to leave off on. You just have to mainly just be kind to yourself, because being kind to yourself and just being kind to others, I truly believe you get in what you put out. So if you're putting out good vibes into the world, you're going to receive good vibes back. And money is intentional. Use it with intention. And if you invest into good things for yourself and invest, use your money wisely, start saving $5 after every single time you get paid, save $2 every single time you get paid, and slowly work it up to $20. I have if you have a separate bank account where you don't look at that money that you're setting aside every single time you get paid, 5%, whatever it is, or if you get tips from your job, save all of those tips in a little money jar and just keep all of that for whenever you need it. And you never know whenever that day is going to come. And it's just important to take that time to invest in yourself, invest in your future. I'm leaving college with a little bit of money in my pocket because I have worked this whole time, and I wanted to make sure that I kind of set myself up to be able to live a little bit. And also I lived at home for the majority of college because I knew that once I got out of college, I'm setting myself up for success because I didn't have to pay rent, all of that. That was another big reason I came home from LSU, because I didn't like paying rent. I was like, bro, this is not for me right now. I was working in a restaurant and I was a server, and it was just a lot. I wouldn't get home till like 1 or 2 in the morning. I was just so exhausted, and like my mental health was just deteriorating, and I was like, this is not for me right now. I can't work and also be in school and like try to live my best life. I can't do it. It was not for me. So I said, this is too much on my plate. Let me see what's not working and let me take it off. And sometimes you have to cut something out. If there's something that's not meant for you, you have to make space for the things that are meant for you. So by me leaving LSU, that was me making space for me to start this podcast, because I wouldn't have started this podcast if I was at LSU, because I wouldn't have been able to go to Destin that summer and figure out that I wanted to start a podcast. I almost changed my whole degree to nursing because I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. And I just thought maybe this would be the right thing for me. And I just decided to do it. And ever since then, I haven't looked back. And, you know, it's an investment into my future. It may not be the biggest podcast right now, but, you know, on Spotify, you know what was crazy? Wait, hold up. I think I saved it. My show, I don't know if it's backwards. It's probably backwards, but it says your show was in the top 15% of video episodes on Spotify and video podcasts on Spotify, which is crazy, okay? That is huge, okay? Like, there's not a lot of video podcasting happening, and it's because that, like, you just got to start doing your things that are out of the box. And this was something that was out of the box that I was like, okay, let's start doing it. And I started doing it, and now it's saying I'm top 15% of Spotify podcasters on like Spotify video podcasts. That's crazy. Like, what? I don't even know how that is possible, honestly, but it is. And that's what Spotify told me. That's crazy. Like, I'm reading all these stats to y'all because I got my Spotify Wrap today, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Thank you, you guys. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, follow me on my socials. I will have those all linked in the description below. And with that, I will see you guys next Friday. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye. Hopefully I'll be graduated by next Friday. Wait. No, I'm not. I won't be graduated by next. Wait. No, I don't think. I think I graduate the next Friday. So yeah, I'll be done. I'll be done with classes, I think, by next Friday. So literally holding on for dear life the rest of this week. This has not, in fact, been a dead week. They said it's a dead week. It's not a dead week. I repeat, it is not a dead week. I'm like struggling in school right now, trying to fight for my life. But you know, I said podcasts, I'm coming for you, baby, because we don't take weeks off, okay? Even if we're in college and we're in the trenches, I'm here for it. I'm here for the long haul because I love you guys. Okay, now I really have to go though, because I do have to go work on a group project presentation that's due on Monday. So, you know, with that, I'm really going to see you guys next Friday. Love you. Bye.